thank you all so much for tuning back in, and let's jump right into another recap here. So, today is Wednesday, and the NASDAQ, as you guys can see, performed kind of like yesterday. It was very one-sided towards the start of the day, and then right around here at around 8:35 in the morning, it ended up having a complete change of direction for the rest of the day. And there was a little spike here just because there was earnings like yesterday in the video, very similar today how things played out. But yeah, I want to go ahead and talk to you guys about how I did. So here are all my orders on the day, a ton of orders, 75 orders. I took a lot of trades today, and me and my brother actually decided to load up on two more different stocks for swing trades. I'll talk a little more about, but in terms of my day trading today, I was up $70 on TQs and down $28 on SQs. So, not the biggest trading day again, but definitely blessed to be green. And I want to go ahead and talk to you guys about why I saw value in TQs and also why I lost money on SQs. So, the reason why I lost money on SQs was because I actually started the day off doing horribly. The first half an hour that the market opened up, I actually put myself down already like $60, and I really wanted to make sure the loss didn't get out of hand, which is kind of why I called it only being up $42 on a day, because I did end up making it back, and I really wanted to kind of just secure that because it took a lot to make my money back and everything like that. So right around here was when the market opened up at 6:30 in the morning. And as you guys can see, here's where I lost all my money the first half hour the market was open. And these moves right here. Like I've told you guys before, the market right when it opens up tends to be a little more choppy and volatile. So I'd buy in with just a quarter of my position size with $2,500, and still these huge bars, as you can see, very aggressive changes, big green bar, big red bar. I kept getting caught in these different changes of directions, and yeah, it ended up costing me like $15 here, $15 there, and after taking like 4 to 5 red trades, I was down right around 60, and I definitely wanted to kind of chill out on the day. And once I started seeing direction actually get clear, and what did I see to tell me that? Well, first off, the Nasdaq had this big push to the top VWAP after it kept, kind of being choppy. It kept flip-flopping the direction right around here, these levels. It ended up shooting high above it. And on top of that, now it was holding above this blue EMA line. As you guys can see, it was now using that line to ride up for higher highs and higher lows. And once I saw that pattern form, where the Nasdaq wanted maybe kept falling after hitting the top VWAP here, but it was still holding above this blue line and trying to go higher. Once I saw that, those were the signs that I wanted to be in TQ, so I started buying in, and as it started going my way, I would average up, and then I would just cut it wherever I felt comfortable. After I let the stock run a bit, or there was a nice pop or something like that. And if I was getting into these, could I have held for a move up to these levels? Obviously, but it's hard to predict how much the Nasdaq is really gonna push, right? So anytime, let's say I started loading up when it broke above this EMA line, and I kept adding, I would maybe look to offload most of my shares right around here where it is a little more overbought, because we still didn't get that kind of clear uptrend pattern. But I was just doing my part to lock in profits where I just felt comfortable. A lot of you guys could definitely have been in longer and held it, so yeah. And right around 8:30 in the morning, well, first I want to talk about how it makes sense this thing started to rally, because if you look at it on the bigger time frames, it finally broke this top VWAP again, right? Like it did yesterday, and started to want to go. So it broke the top VWAP again, where it's previously had this kind of resistance right around there, right? It's come here before and got rejected. But once it broke it, and because yesterday it did break that area and start going pretty high and aggressive, today it kind of wanted to follow the same thing. And even clearer is to look at it on the 180-day time frame. And as you guys can see, yesterday it broke above the SMA line and had a nice run and came back down. And today with this green bar, it started to really go. And I saw potential for it to run up again all the way to kind of around the highs of yesterday. And around there is where I would have looked to kind of get out of TQs and look for a change in direction, because it was approaching this very kind of pretty strong resistance so far it's been forming the past few like months. And yeah, basically I was just on the lookout for that, and that's why I saw potential for there to be a two-sided day again, because I knew it's unrealistic to think the Nasdaq is just going to keep running forever. So once it approached this overbought territory, it would have definitely been smart to look to get into SQs, especially after this pattern was no longer holding of the Nasdaq trending above this blue EMA line. As you guys can see, once it started to finally dip below it a good little amount, it's no shocker that then the direction started to change on the day. It came up, but ultimately, previous supports can be new resistance levels, right? And now it's going to use this blue line as a resistance level instead of riding it up. And every time it came up near it, it would maybe push above it a bit, but ultimately get rejected. It tried pushing above it, but couldn't, formed this lower high still, right, following this new downtrending pattern, and kept falling. And unfortunately, I didn't capitalize on any of this because I was just kind of over trading on a day because I made my money back and some, and it was just, I don't know, just a pretty eventful first few hours. So I was fine calling it, but there's definitely a lot of money that could have been made still, and just be on the lookout for these patterns. That's something that's definitely been doing me a lot better, is paying attention to where direction's really going, and then be on the lookout on the bigger time frames for areas where it may be not a bad idea to lock in profits or sell and cut losses if the trade wasn't going your way. So yeah, just want to leave you guys on that note. And as far as the market, me and my brother waited till around 1 o'clock when the market was kind of it was about to close obviously for the day, and we just waited for it to really sell off on the day. And we actually loaded up on the two stocks I talked to you guys about, Microsoft, right? We got in towards the bottom here, and Google, because they did have large large drops, right? Pretty significant drops because of their earnings reports yesterday. So we did load up, nothing heavy at all. We got in with like $2,500 of each of those, and we definitely might add more as the Nasdaq starts to hopefully recover, but there is no confirmation yet. And on top of that, on the 180-day time frame, the Nasdaq could definitely start to maybe pull on back again, right? That's why we got in kind of lightly. We didn't get in too aggressively. So yeah, just be on the lookout for that. And this big move here was kind of the market being affected by Meta. Meta, it reported earnings today, and as you guys can tell, they weren't that great. And it, because of the weak earnings reports, it obviously tanked the stock. And with Meta being such a big company, the Nasdaq kind of was just following through with it, and very volatile. And yeah, just excited for the rest of the week and very blessed to have ended green again today. Thank you guys all so much for watching. I hope you guys have been enjoying these recaps and you got something out of it. And if you have any questions at all, make sure to drop a comment down below. I'd love to answer them. And yeah, thank you guys so much, and I'll see you all the rest of the week. Take care.